Hello YouTube, Kherny here from Kherny.com. This is episode 2 of my Nemoria series. Last episode we got a probe up into orbit. I followed that up off camera with a second probe, so now there's 2 probes orbiting the planet Kerbal. Now phase 2 of the Kerbal Space Program plan that we have in place, if you look down in the description, is to design a re-entry system for the Kerbals, so we reduce the loss of life if we can. Basically I've come up with this to test. I quite like this probe section there under the pods. It's the Mark 1-2 command pod. Seats 3 cables in it if I remember rightly. No, that takes one, but I'm sure there was 3 in there. We'll see in a moment anyway. I've put some lights on there. I've got a dockable port on the front, which comes under utility, which you can get. Where are we? There. A Clampertron shielded docking port just allows me to, if I needed to in an emergency, dock to the front of their pod. I've got a few solar panels fitted onto it. There we go, 3. I've got an extendable solar panel just in case we need some extra power. I've got some rechargeable battery packs, 2. I've got 3 parachute packs. They're placed equally around. That's going to be the standard I'm going to attempt to test on this pod anyway. Right, let's see how it goes. Right, here we are on the launch pad. I just swapped out the engine at the bottom for a slightly meatier one to make sure we get up a little bit quicker. Right, I'm going to try and take it to 10,000 feet. Then I'm going to hit the decoupler and then let the pod fall and test out the parachutes to make sure they can get down safely. Here we go. SAS on, RCS, and thrusters to full, and engage. Nice bit of thrust on that. Rising very quickly. Don't know if we'll make 10,000 meters, but see how we go. There we go, decouple. Oh. Oh. Slight flaw in the pan. Let's see what happens. Oh, Jebediah looks a bit happy. Bob's not looking too pleased. There we go. Right. Well, so far so good. Let's get the lights on. We know they work. I don't think I'll pop the parachute yet in case it slows us down. Better watch out below when that comes down. Right. Now we're dropping. 22,000 meters. And dropping. And as you can see, there's the dockable pod if I needed to use it. Deploy the old antenna. Let them know we're coming. I'd like to have been over the water, to be honest. I did forget about that. Right. Let's see if we can deploy the parachute system from here. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, look, that slowed us down. Now I don't think it fully deploys until 500 meters. So let's speed it up a little bit. So far so good. 6,000 meters and falling. Right, there we go, 2,000. Hopefully not on top of the building. Oh, there's the rocket hitting down. 700, 600. Ah, there we go. 500, fully deployed. Right, I'm quite happy with that safety system. We'll be using that on all our Kerbal ships in case we need the Kerbals to get back down to the planet. Dockable at the front. Speed it up a little bit till we touch down. Oh, that's okay. And we're down safely. So now we know that safety system works, we'll move on to the next part of our ongoing Kerbal space program mission. Okay, here we are back in the vehicle design part. We're looking at the next stage of the mission, which is to start building a space station in orbit with the possibility of the Kerbals returning in case of an emergency. Now, basically this is what it looks like. Now, we've got our pod that we just tested a few moments ago, sitting at the top, with a decoupler underneath, which is then attached to a little fuel tank with some little thrusters. Now basically, this part will be the part that will get us back into orbit if there's any kind of a problem with the space station. So the Kerbals, who will be living in the central section, the little living area, can spacewalk to the pod, get in, decouple it, and use the fuel that's in here to get back into orbit. Then they can decouple it, and then, as we saw a little bit earlier, they can use the parachutes and land safely. Now, barring that, going further down, we've got a fuel tank with some rocket boosters on it. This will be the final manoeuvring jets when we're in low orbit or in space, when we're trying to just do some final manoeuvres. We've got a little fuel tank there. Now attached with some struts onto some mono propellant for the little thrusters, as you've seen in the last video that I ran out of in orbit. This time we've got two big tanks of mono propellant, so if we need to make any manoeuvres up there we can. We've got two sets of 4 thrusters to help us manoeuvre slightly easier, as this is quite a long structure, could be a little bit hefty to move. We've got some rechargeable battery packs on there, satellite dishes, solar panels, a very large solar panel. We've got some lights so that aimed at the docking bays for expansion purposes, so they'll be slightly easier to dock with if we need to. Also some lights to illuminate down the station, and one at the front there for our front docking port, which I've never used before, and hopefully we won't have to use unless there's an emergency up there. Then the bottom is structural. We've got another decoupler. Well, we're actually below the main docking part. We've got another decoupler. No, sorry, we've got an SAS there. I think that's an advanced SAS. Let's just check that. Under control. Yeah, there we go. It's an advanced SAS, as that'll be part of the station. That's there. With some struts holding the station to a multi-docking port. You got to remember as well, little tip, to put the docking port pieces onto the front of it, otherwise you won't be able to dock. Now they're under where are they? They are, there they are. Clampotron docking port and the Clampotron Junior. They fit straight onto the front there. There's also a side one that I haven't actually used before, inline Clampotron, but I might try that another time. We've then got a decoupler, some structural parts, and a base rocket. Now, these structural parts here will be to allow us to attach some more rockets or boosters to get us into orbit. But that basically is the outline of what I think the space station will start off as. Right, slight change of plan from a few minutes ago. As you can see, I've tried all afternoon to get this thing into orbit, and I finally come up with something that will get us there. Slight change, few slight changes. I've just put some extra lights on, a new battery pack on the central section, communication dish, some science devices, the basic ones you get under the science tab. And basically I've replaced the smaller fuel cell we had at the bottom there with a large one. I've tried different combinations of boosters and fuel cells, and basically this seems to be the most effective one that I can come up with. We're going to have these three get us off the launch pad and as high as they can go. Then we'll jettison the two outside ones. Then we'll engage 4 rocket boosters with what's left with the center fuel pod, and that'll get us as far as we need to go really. And then we'll have the two, like I said earlier, the two smaller jets to maneuver us into orbit. Then once we've done that, we'll get the Kerbals into the center habitation space, and we'll have the first part of our space station all done. Right, let's see if we can do it. Here we are on the launch pad. Let's see if we can get it into orbit. Lights on. Oh, they're lovely large lights there. Right, let's turn on the SAS. Thrusters to full and engage. Good start. These big engines tend to overheat, so there we go. Let's just lower the thrust a little bit. 3 notches usually does it. Yeah. Right. Let's put on the RCS and start a rotation. A little bit more. I like to have the north to the right of me. That way I know I can go around the equator, which is in line with us. So far so good. The 2 fuel tanks are about to run out, then we'll switch over to the boosters and the central rocket. Okay, that went well. They burn up quite quickly those, but they give us a nice little boost in velocity. Oh yeah, look, altitude's rising nicely now. Let's start tilting. There we go, a bit more. Let's check how it's going. That's okay. A little bit more. There we go, that's going well. Wait till that gets to 80, then we'll cut the engines. There we go. Add a maneuver. Bring that back in. We would like to get to around about 135, say. That's about right. Let's just alter the trajectory, make it a bit more level. There we go. Right, let's quickly 55 seconds until we get into the right position for the burn. That's the blue marker we're aiming for. There we go. Down a little bit. There we go, 30 seconds till the burn. Oh, we're a little bit heavy. I could get rid of the large part here and use my little boosters at the front, but we'll try with what we got. Kerbals are looking happy. Sigbro, Ribley and Willoughby, the first 3 Kerbals into orbit. 8 seconds, 7, it's a 50-second burn. 2, 1. We're not going to have enough fuel in this main tank, so we'll have to eject it and switch to our small tanks at the front. There we go. Let's check how it's going. Still got quite a burn to go, but we've got plenty of fuel for that. Sigbro's looking a little bit worried. I would be too, to be honest. It's going according to plan. 46 seconds of burn left. It's going well. Slightly drifting. Right. Ten seconds left. Let's have a look. Our apoapsis is 124. Our periapsis is 57. Right. Let's bring that up a little bit. Shouldn't really have done that. It's not really an effective way of doing it. Now I need to do a manoeuvre. I need to bring this up to 130. So I'll wait till I get round to the highest point. Do a manoeuvre. Oops. Let's get rid of that manoeuvre first. Just clear them. Right. Let's do a new manoeuvre. We want to bring that one round to 130 or so. 188. $147, 138, that would do. Right, how are we on the axis? Pretty good. Leave it at that. Right, 16-minute burn. 16 minutes we do the burn for 4 seconds. How much fuel have we got? Oh, not a lot. Not a lot. Okay. Let's forward fast it. I'll forward fast it in time so you don't have to watch this. And we're back. I've also lined this up on the nav point, save us some time. 1 minute 25 to go. Just over 30 seconds. Plenty of monopropellant, unlike the last video when I sped it up while I left it on. 25 seconds, got a 4-second burn. Have to be very careful with this fuel. Went a little bit early there. Okay. Let's get rid of that manoeuvre. That gives us a periapsis of 138,000 meters and a apoapsis of 204, so we need to lower that a little bit, and we haven't got a lot of fuel left. So as always, we go to the opposite side where we want to perform the manoeuvre, where we want to lower or raise, and we'll add the manoeuvre. Now we want to bring it down 158, a little bit more. Oh, could be too much. 143, 42. Tricky. 140, 137. I think that's as good as we're going to get. That's pretty level. 17 minutes till that manoeuvre and a 3-second burn. Should have enough fuel for that. Right, let's speed time up. I think I'm safe at speeding it up this time, yeah. I sped up. I'll wait till we're 4, 3, 2, 1 minute. Now let's quickly line it up. Let's put on the RCS thrusters. Down a little bit and SAS, hold it in position. 1 minute 30. Almost there. Kerbals are looking fascinated. 7 seconds to go. Full thrust. Off. And that was just enough fuel. Let's remove that. Take off the SAS and the thrusters. Check our position. 137, 140. Well, we can't get much better than that. Well, you can, but I can't. Right. Now let's set this baby up. We've already got the lights on and we've got a lot of electric power. Let's extend the solar panels. And they'll track the light. There you go. Right. There's another one there. and the third. Now we've got a satellite dish for communications with the planet. Oh, it's a little bit close to the solar panel there, but as good as we can get. Now I think we've got a antenna as well. Yeah, there we go. Let's turn on all the little devices. Thermostat on, minus 199 degrees. Accelerometer. Gravioli detector. And the barometer. Right, okay. We also have a panel, I think, on the pod. There we go. Not in a very good position for it. Now let's get the kerbals into the living space in the centre. Now I've only done one spacewalk before, so hopefully it'll all go okay. Where are we? There's the pod. Let's get Sigbro first. It's very responsive. Right, it's on the other side of this dish. Let's go over that. Careful. Line them up nicely. There we go. Board it. That's one in. Ribley. Be careful. Could have him shooting off into space. Time for the cyanide capsule if that happens. I don't think we'll be able to retrieve him. Up slightly. Grab him. And he's in. Now for Wilbury, and that's the last one. The only one who had the common sense to hold on to the bars as he got out. Careful. Slow this down a bit. Oh, I've overshot. Too busy looking at the solar panel. Slowly forwards from there. Would have been a good idea to get him in here before I extended the panels, I think. And they're in. There we go. That's the beginning of our space station. Fully self-sufficient. Electricity. Solar panels are out. The lights are on. The Electricity's staying on. We got 5 potential expansions here, slots. In the next episode, I'll try and get some refueling ships up here for us, readying us for expanding into space to one of these planets. Oh, there's one down there. Looks like a Death Star from there. Right, well, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.